All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory is to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all you brothers out there that's diligently continuing to labor in his work in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And that's what I want to get into in this lesson, diligence. Because we know that this year has been coined as the year of death, destruction, and diligence. And we see the death and the destruction, all right, by way of these hurricanes and these earthquakes. And we also see the diligence. You got stand-up brothers that's stepping up to the plate and pushing out this word, man, diligently, which is the inside track on your deliverance, all right? Diligence leads to deliverance, all right? This is 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 10. Wherefore thee rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall, right? And unless you been diligent doing the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, uploading these videos, going out on the highways and hedges, well, you're going to be destroyed. Simple as that. Now, with that said, you got certain men and women out there that's not allotted to do the work of an evangelist, which that word evangelist means public speaking, all right? Making your ministry public. You got certain men and women out there that was set up just to believe, to hear the words of the prophets and believe. And with that, that's enough to deliver you, all right? Matter of fact, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 41. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. Yeah, and that reward is ultimately being delivered from this upcoming destruction. All right? And all the diverse judgments that the Lord is going to pour out, whether it be the famine, the beast of the field attacking, these so-called natural disasters. Well, if you believe on the words of the prophets, then you're going to receive a prophet's reward, which ultimately is deliverance. All right? And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward, all right? So you do have men and women and pretty much households that's going to be delivered, all right, on the fact that they believe in the words of the prophets, because it tells you that we are speaking the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So if you cling on to what we say, you believe when we tell you that the names of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai is the true names of the Heavenly Father and His beloved Son, and you accept that, and you accept the doctrine pretty much, then you're going to receive the reward that we're going to receive. But guess what? This does not apply to you men out there who was once out teaching, all right? If you was out teaching His word, then you drew back for whatever reason and went back in the world, yet you still believe, you call yourself believing, then you are not going to be, this don't apply to you, man. You're going to be destroyed, all right? Why? Because you broke the covenant in that vow that you made with the Most High, all right? Matter of fact, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, and starting at verse 23. Have I any pleasure at all that the wicked shall die, saith the Lord power, and not that he should return from his ways and live? Yeah, so the Lord pretty much set up this truth for us who was living a wicked life, all right? We was under that vibration of America. He set up this path, which is the truth, for us to return back to Him and live. And you had certain men to take that path and return to the Lord, all right? But they went back. They drew back. Verse 24, but when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness, and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? All his righteousness that he have done shall not be mentioned. Right? So any of you guys who began to do righteousness in the eyes of the Most High, which is go out and teach this word, well, the Lord is not going to remember that. So it don't apply to you when the scriptures say, if you receive a prophet, you receive a prophet's reward. That don't apply to you because you turned back, all right, from your vow or your agreement that you made with the Lord. It says, all his righteousness that he have done shall not be mentioned, and his trespass that he have trespassed, and in his sin that he have sinned, in them shall he die. That's right. So for all you men that once was a part of this truth and you went back into the world for whatever reason, you can't bask in the glory of what you once had. All right? Because it even tells you that many is going to tell the Lord, did we not prophesy in your name? All right? Did we not go out on the streets and prophesy? Yeah, you did, but the Lord is not going to remember that. Why? Because you broke that covenant. All right? And a lot of men, they knew the scripture that I opened up with. They knew that giving diligence, would make your calling and election sure, man. Yet they went back into the world. And even if you didn't know that, it doesn't matter. All right? The Most High is still going to destroy you because the Lord, in his fairness, he was fair. He tell you, man, before you come into this truth to count the cost. All right? A lot of you men, you didn't look before you leaped. You just leaped into this truth. All right? When the Lord actually gave you an exit, he told you to count the cost. You could have examined the situation and said, you know what? I don't think I will be able to give the Lord my all. So let me just fall back and I'll believe from afar. Whatever resources I got, I'll help the brothers out. I'll go up to the camp, watch the brothers, I'll learn, I'll study, I'll watch the videos. And guess what? You could have been delivered. All right? But you got into this truth and you turned your back. All right? This is the book of Luke, chapter 9 and verse 62. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. Yeah, and once you put your hand to the plow and you look back, which putting your hand to the plow is symbolic for doing the work. The first day you uploaded your first video or you put on your garment for the first time and you went out on the streets for the first time, called the white man the devil, you pulled a precept for a brother, you began to speak, you went into any breakdowns. Well, you put your hand on the plow, man. All right? And you look back, you went back into the world, so you're not fit for the kingdom of heaven. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 7, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works. All right? This is clear and to the point. Everyone that's going to make it or be delivered is going to be because of their works. And those works is going to be done in diligence. All right? It says, and by faith whereby ye have believed. Right. And it tells you that in the book of James, faith without works is dead. So when you see the brothers being diligent, it's because they got a certain measure of faith, man. All right? And again, if you got a guy that was once doing the work, then they went back into the world and they still maybe watch the videos, they still pray to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, all right? They believe, well, I'm just going to believe from afar. Well, you're going to be destroyed, man, because actually you don't have faith. Because if you had faith, you would have continued in your works, all right? So pretty much, if you're looking for the inside track on how to be delivered, the Lord gave it to you, man. That's why that scripture, Isaiah 33 and 6, which is becoming to be a more and more quoted scripture, all right, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times, it actually applies to you knowing what it takes to be delivered. The Lord actually gave you the blueprint on what it takes to be delivered, yet men shunned that away. They discarded that. The Lord was merciful enough to tell you how to be delivered, man. It tells you in the scripture I opened up with, again, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. All right? Well, you ain't got to leave it up to the imagination. You ain't got to wonder. You're going to be delivered because of your works, man. Why? Because the Most High, when you in doing that, you, in a roundabout way, bag the Most High into a corner. Because the Lord is bound by his word. The Lord is not wicked, man. The Lord is not going to see you do the works and then don't hold up his end of the bargain. All right? And it tells you that in Hebrews chapter 6 and verse 10, For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. Right. So the Lord, if you hold up your end of the bargain, the Lord is pretty much forced and bound by these words that I'm reading. You're going to be delivered. All right. Because you doing what is required. You holding up your end of the agreement. All right. You made a vow and you keeping the vow. All right. Which ye have showed toward his name, in that ye ministered to the saints and do minister, right? And that word minister means serve. So you being a servant, man. If you serving the Most High, he's going to pay you. All right? So the Lord is not unrighteous to forget your works and your labor of love, man. You holding up your end of the agreement. And again, for any man out there that once was doing his work, you actually made a vow to the Lord and you broke that vow. And the Lord hate that. The Lord don't like, it tells you about truce breakers. All right? The Lord have a disdain for a truce breaker, man. And even amongst the world, even in the world, people hate anybody that break a truth, you know? And you might have a guy say, well, I never said to the Lord, I agree this day, September the 10th, I'm going to make an agreement that I do the work. No, the day that you uploaded your first video and the day that you put on that garment for the first time and went out, you actually made a vow to the Lord, all right? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. For all you brothers that's out there giving diligence, look forward to deliverance, man, all right? That's the whole point of having faith. Even though we say we are the hopefully elect, deep down in your spirit, you got to have faith, which you got to have confidence. When you go into that word confidence, it's a compound word, all right? Con meaning with, and fidence, go back to fidel, all right, which means faith. So the word confidence simply means with faith, Salaki. All right, so the brothers that's being diligent, you got to have expectation that you're going to be delivered, man. Because diligence leads to deliverance, all right? So with that, shalom.